Hello everyone, I'm Adam Steele from EVO, and this is a video where I'm going to help you set your EVO 4, EVO 8 or EVO 16 up with your DAW. Today, we're going to be covering Ableton Live. First things first, we're going to want to plug in our interface. If it's an EVO 4 or EVO 8, we're going to want to plug the USB-C connection straight into our Mac or PC. If we're using a Mac, it's likely going to be a USB-C to C cable. If it's a PC, it's likely to be a USB-C to A cable. Both work exactly the same, provide exactly the same sound quality, it just depends which end works with your machine. Next, we're going to look at drivers. Whilst it is true that many Macs and PCs will work to some extent with an EVO interface without any extra software, we highly recommend that you get the drivers from the EVO website. These will give you the best functionality, the most performance with your DAW, and the best overall experience. So head to evo.audio in your browser. So here we are at the evo.audio website, and we're going to go to the top to Products and select the audio interface from here that is exactly the one that you own. In my case here, it's the EVO 4. Head down the page a little bit and we will see a Downloads tab. Give this a click and we bring up a page with the documents, including the manuals if you want to read in detail, and also the drivers at the bottom of the page for Mac and Windows. Select the one that is relevant to you, get that downloaded and install that on your computer, and I'll see you back here shortly. Once the EVO app is installed on your computer, you will now have this running in the top right corner on macOS and in the bottom right on Windows with the letter E. If we give that a click, then we can click Show EVO Control or to show the mixer for the EVO 8 and EVO 16. The EVO Control for the EVO 4 is a nice way to look at exactly the same features that are available on the front of the hardware. With the EVO 8 and 16, the EVO Mixer will give you some more control over the more fine aspects that we will cover later on. The first thing that I'm going to do to get sound is plug in a microphone. I'm going to plug this into input 1 on the EVO 4. This process is the same on the EVO 8 and EVO 16. I've plugged in this vocal microphone and it needs two things. It needs power and it needs gain. So what we're going to do is press the number 1, which selects channel 1, and then first thing I need for this is phantom power. So I'm now going to hit the 48V button for phantom power. And that means this microphone, given a couple of seconds, is now powered. The next thing it needs is gain. And we have two choices there. Either we can do that by hitting number 1 and then manually selecting the amount of gain that we need from the large knob on the front of the EVO interface, or we can use the Smart Gain feature. Check out Smart Gain in the manual and on some of the other videos here. Now that we've got a microphone plugged in, let's fire up Ableton. Now this does come up with the tutorial in Ableton first, but I'm not going to worry about that for a second because the first thing that we need to do is set Ableton Live up so that it's talking to the EVO interface. So what we're going to do is go into the Live menu and go to Preferences. On the left here, we're going to go to Audio. And so the driver type that we want to choose is Core Audio on a Mac, or would be ACO on a PC. And so we want to choose the audio input and output devices to be the same thing, which would be the EVO 4 or 8 or 16, respectively. Beyond that, if you're using an EVO 8 or 16 and you want to use multiple microphone inputs on multiple outputs, then we'll need to change the input and output configuration, which are buttons right here. So on an EVO 4, if I click Input Config, then we will see mono inputs and outputs are chosen as 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and you just click these to light these up respectively as you would like them to be seen in Ableton. And it's exactly the same in the audio output configuration. You may want to keep it simple, you may want to expand it so you can see everything that you use. That's entirely up to you, but the options are here. Below that is in and out sample rate, which you need to choose depending on what you're doing. If you're working with something that may be CD quality, then 44.1 kilohertz may be the right answer for you. I tend to personally work in 48 kilohertz more often because it's more appropriate for film and that kind of thing, so I choose 48,000 here. And that will then change the sample rate that the EVO is running at. Below that is buffer size. Now, buffer size is important if you're recording audio and hearing it live back through the interface. So if you're doing things like EQ, compression, any sort of processing, and you want to hear it in real time, then you need your buffer size to be relatively small so that you don't hear a slight delay between you making the sound and that coming back. So that then needs to be selected here. The downside of this is that if your latency becomes very low, the computer may struggle to keep up, and so you might hear pops and clicks and dropouts if the mix or the song is particularly heavy. If you're mixing a song and there's a lot going on and you are encountering issues, you might want to expand the buffer to something like 512 or 1024 samples. Now I'm going to close this menu down and make a new live set. Now by default, this gives us 2 MIDI channels and 2 audio channels. We wouldn't be able to hear anything just yet because now we need to talk about monitoring. At this point, I've not mentioned anything about speakers or headphones yet, because I like to do that at a later stage so that anything we're changing with drivers or power doesn't cause any clicks or pops that can potentially damage equipment. So at this point, turn on your monitors, plug in your headphones, and on the EVO, click on the volume button and then turn up the encoder until the volume is an appropriate level. Personally, I like to start this a little lower just in case and then raise it as necessary rather than potentially cause damage. So by default, our new live set already includes a couple of new audio tracks, but we can always add more by right-clicking in the blank space and clicking Insert Audio Track. But I'm going to use one of the 2 that are already here. There's 3 audio and 4 audio, so I'm going to select 3 audio and choose here audio from external in, and that's from input 1. We could choose 1 and 2 as a stereo pair if you've got something like a keyboard plugged in, but 1 is usually a good choice for a microphone. If you're using an EVO 8 or 16, there will be a long list of inputs here depending on what you chose in the input and output configuration that we just talked about. Now at this point, you still might not be able to hear anything because we need to talk about monitoring. At this point, just below where we chose that input, and we can see a little green bar moving because my microphone is plugged in with phantom power, there is an option called Monitor, which has in, auto, and off. If we choose Monitor in, then all the things down here change color from yellow to blue, and we can suddenly see meters moving. And you'll be able to hear that coming out of your headphones or monitors. Do be careful with that you might not get feedback through monitors and through a microphone. The reason you might want to monitor through Ableton Live is that anything we want to do to this audio, like EQ, compression, bit crushing, anything like that, will be heard live in real time through Ableton. The potential downside is latency may be a little distracting, so the other option is near zero latency through the EVO interface. So we're going to turn monitor off, and we are going to go to the EVO control, or the EVO mixer. So the EVO control here, we can see levels coming in from input 1, and if we click on the fader icon, we can now also click the fader icon on the EVO 4, which is an exact mirror of the EVO control software, and we can move the encoder on the EVO 4. If that's all the way on the left, then we're going to hear just the microphone's audio inputs at near zero latency, and if that's all the way to the right, we will only hear what comes through Ableton Live. If we move it to the middle, we should have an equal balance of both, and if we move that to the left or the right, we will have more of the input or Ableton respectively. Now you may find that you have an issue that I like to call ghosting, which is where it sounds like there's kind of a chorus effect or a slight delay or weird robotness about the voice or guitar or whatever it is that you're recording. Usually what's happened here is that you're monitoring the same audio twice. Once with near zero latency through the EVO, and once very slightly later through Ableton. The way to fix this is we have to decide which one of those we want to keep and turn the other one off. If I was to want to monitor through Ableton, that would be turned on with the in, but then on the EVO control, we would need to make sure that our monitoring is all the way to the right so that it's Ableton only. Or if we're on the EVO mixer, then we need to turn down the faders for the inputs so that we're not hearing them as well as what comes through Ableton. And that's it. So if there's anything else that you'd like us to answer for you, please feel free to leave a comment down below in the comments section. Otherwise, if there's anything else you still need, feel free to talk to us at our support. Thanks everybody for watching, good luck and have fun, and we'll see you soon.